So you've decided to make a change in your child's behavior. Congratulations, because it's only you who can make lasting change in how they behave. This video addresses the behavior we know as temper tantrums. All children seem to have them. Nothing wrong with your child if they're having them. The technique we're going to use is one called active ignoring. There's 3 steps to this technique. The first step is the setup. Now, I know your child is very young, perhaps having temper tantrums, 18 months, 2 years old, something like that. And they might not understand everything you say, even if you keep it simple and clear. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that they hear you explain something before they have the temper tantrum, while they're calm, while they're able to hear you, while they're able to take in what you're telling them, to the degree that they can. Now, a 5-year-old having a tantrum, of course they're going to be able to understand you much more easily than an 18-month-old will. But you can still give the message, give the setup, and that is, tell her or him ahead of time that next time you have a temper tantrum, I'm just going to let you work it out on your own. I'm just going to ignore it. You'll be okay. I'm going to be nearby. If you need me, I'll be there. But I'm just going to let you get over that temper tantrum all by yourself. The reason you want your child to go through a temper tantrum and come out the other side without you pushing or pulling or shouting at them or telling them to come out of it, you don't want to interrupt them. They're actually going through something quite important when they have a temper tantrum. Little ones are overwhelmed very often by emotion. And if we try to pull them out of it ourselves, we interrupt their beginning ability to control their own emotions from within. Now, sometimes the little child, the 18-month-old, the 2-year-old, they can't always pull it together themselves, and they definitely need certain things externally that will help them. But with a simple temper tantrum, although sometimes they look quite violent, they really do need to be allowed gently to come out of them by themselves. We need to be nearby, keeping an eye on them, but if we can absolutely let them go in and come out of one on their own, we've done them a great favor, and they're beginning to learn a very, very important step, which is anger management. Containing anger in a 2-year-old is an awful lot easier than containing anger in a 16-year-old, as I'm sure you know. So that was step 1. You set the child up simply and clearly. Don't use too many words, just be simple. When they have the temper tantrum, be nearby, keep an eye on them, make sure that you're very aware of what's going on. But to the child, let them think that you're ignoring them. Turn your back. Make sure that you don't have eye contact. Be nearby, but don't be seen to be taking any attention to them. When they're having their temper tantrum, it can be a little alarming for you to stand by and listen. You might worry that the neighbors will hear. You might worry that your spouse or partner will be upset. Clue them in ahead of time that that's what you're going to be doing and get their support and agreement up front. When the child eventually gets through with their temper tantrum, some tantrums will last for 5 seconds. Most of them don't go on for very long. Some of them can last a minute or 2. It's really important at that point that you still have an eye on your child, but that you're still ignoring them at the same time. When they come out of it, this is the 3rd step, the reinforcement step. You want to let them know that they've accomplished something, and they really have. They have done an amazing job. If a 2-year-old has been drumming his heels on the floor and banging his hands on the floor and screaming, "I hate you," for 5 minutes, and he's calmed himself down and he's stopped, he has accomplished something, and you should acknowledge that. So when he's stopped, let him know that, oh, you're so proud, he's a big boy. He did a temper tantrum all by himself, and he came out of it all by himself. Now, the younger the child, the more likely it is when they come out of an explosion like that, of emotion, they have calmed themselves down. They need a little extra TLC. You don't need to talk to them about, being a bad boy and having a temper tantrum. He just maybe needs a little cuddle. He might need a hug. He might need you to sit next to him and read a book to him or something like that. Very often when they come out of a temper tantrum, they're very needy, and that's okay. You need to give them what they need at that point. You're not reinforcing the temper tantrum by doing that. You're reinforcing the calmed behavior by doing that. So step 1, prepare him. Step 2, follow through, keeping a very close eye on where it's going and how he's behaving. And step 3, reinforce and acknowledge and give him TLC if he needs it. You might not need it. He might just go on about his day as if nothing happened. But most kids need a little calming time with you after that. Be prepared for that. I'm Fiona Cattermole, parent coach, behaviorist, and author of Kids in Chaos. This video may have taken care of what you needed. If it didn't for some reason, I advise you to go to my site, order my book. It will give you the techniques in greater detail and give you other techniques that you might be interested in using as well. Also, stay tuned for upcoming webinars. Don't worry if you miss them. They'll be posted on the site. And you can download them at your convenience. Congratulations for improving your parenting skills, and good luck.